I think there is a relationship between tennis and pickleball and wrestling. Here's the question. Like, what do I know more about? Like podcasting, like what you should do during a podcast, or the rules of grappling. I don't know either one of them.
You've been doing both about the same amount of time?
I've been doing grappling longer, for 4 years, but I still don't know the rules. I don't actually know the rules.
I didn't know what I was in for at all, because you said you got this open mat thing.
Yeah.
You should come.
And now you're part of our community. Great. Hey.
Yeah.
And I think that
It's a completely different community than I thought it was going to be.
yeah, that's what everyone says. That's what everyone says. But I think that,
Very
I think you
intimate.
were well accepted.
I barely
well
even
accepted.
participated.
I mean,
People were very nice. But I barely got in there. Like I didn't even tell. I had no idea what it was. You can take one look at me and see like, okay, skinny arms, a little bit of a gut.
I knew that 5 years ago.
Huh?
I knew that 5 years ago. That I was hoping to have 5 minutes with it so I can give you kind of the basics.
I wish we had started off, because then I
tried
after
to
wrestling with Adam for 10 minutes, got like lightheaded and just didn't want to.
I tried to do that.
Yeah.
I tried to do that,
Yeah.
but you wouldn't.
You were already wrestling with some, grappling with
I was
some.
like, hey, you want to go? You want to go? You want to go? And then you didn't want to.
But
Then-
that was after I had gone with that already. And I was just wiped out. And I was like, this is not for me.
I mean, like sometimes I forget that, people get tired. And,
Yeah. You're superhuman. I'm a normal, average human being. I'm your target audience.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess.
I don't know if 38-year-olds who never exercise is your target audience, because I think I'm
Do
like
you have
slightly over the
potential?
hill
You
physically.
do have potential.
I don't think I do.
Okay, well, if you don't think you do, then don't. If you think you do, then you do. It's a mindset.
It is.
Well-
And there are things that I've never tried before that I like think about. I'm like, I could do that. And just grappling was never one. I can't even, like Adam was like, okay, I'm loosey-goosey, go ahead and pin me. And I was like, I don't even know. Pinned.
Adam is
I knew what I'm doing.
Adam's also a black belt.
Yeah, for
I-
sure.
I-
But he wasn't like really pushing back on me. He just said like, do what you want to do. Put me in a thing. And I was like, I don't,
That's
here
what-
you go. And then he was just kind of like, whoop, easy, like got
That's
out
what
of it.
grappling is. It's
Yeah.
the really good grapplers make it seem effortless because they know how to use their body,
Right.
and everything.
It was so weird for me to, he was like, okay, just put me in a hold or something. And I was like, I got you.
Exactly. Because basically you get once you're Adam's level, it's like they're just waiting for you to make a mistake. And if you're brand new, every move is a mistake.
Right.
So then they just react to you. They don't really have to do anything.
You're right. Yeah.
Right. But this is part of it. Like, no matter how big you are, no matter how strong you are, even if you come from Muay Thai and you're a good Muay Thai fighter, you're going to be humbled to Jiu-Jitsu. You're just number two. And that's the journey of Jiu-Jitsu. It's very humbling. Yeah.
I saw, I guess, going into it, I had this mindset that like, if they grab onto me, I need to try to stop them from grabbing. But I noticed a lot of the guys that you were wrestling with were very patient. You could have their arm and they would be like, not even worried about it. They'd be like, go ahead, take my arm. I'm doing something else. You can waste your time with that if you want to.
Exactly.
But they were just patiently being like, you're both reading each other.
It's a chess game.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's human chess. It really is. And you're going to pay your dues in the beginning. And I paid my dues in high school wrestling. Right. Now I paid my dues in Jiu-Jitsu as well. But a large portion of my dues were paid early. And they were paid in full, essentially. And what I mean by that is I was, the first 50 matches, I was humiliated.
Okay. And what kept you going then? I mean, I feel like 50 defeats that I'd be like, okay, this isn't for me,
I wasn't good at anything else. So.
If I wanted to in college,
I failed at every sport involving a ball. So this is my only ticket.
so the PE coach in high school was like, maybe you should just stick to using your body instead of,
no,
maybe team sports hard for you, but
I mean, like
because your teacher said you don't work well with others.
it was a lot of things, Ross, that I'm not willing to admit, but yeah, basically
All of your shortcomings just directed you down this path.
that was pretty much it. There's only community that accepted me, Ross, to be honest with you.
Well, that's kind of sweet.
But that's largely true. And that's true. Cause I mean, I wouldn't say that's true for everyone, who does jiu-jitsu, because a lot of folks here that you met today are good at other things. Turns out I'm not good at other things, and I'm just barely
right. They
I'm
do like
just
Muay Thai
accepting it.
and MMA of different.
Well,
forms.
they're also good at other sports.
Okay.
You know what I mean, and other things in life.
Well, you're pretty pickable.
Well, I mean, not really. I mean, I'm good enough to beat someone you
Never played you fools.
Yeah, but then you beat me after that.
7-1 after. That's right.
Yeah, you did.
So I want to come back to the community that accepted you, because you said amazing thing before I came today. You were like, you're gonna love these guys. They're the most like kind, trusting, like honest. Like that's something that you've noticed is a pattern throughout your sort of journey into this post
Yes,
of the jiu-jitsu.
and that's what I love about the jiu-jitsu and grappling is the community globally. Anywhere in the world, you can, for the most part, you can go into a grappling gym and have people you can trust immediately after one practice.
What do you think it is about jiu-jitsu that sort of, do you think it's that jiu-jitsu teaches people how to like communicate trust and like in a sort of a limit and a boundary, because you got to tap out, you don't want to push it too far, is it? Or is it that people who already have that sort of integrity are drawn to?
I think it's all of those things. I think number one, it takes a special person to do jiu-jitsu. And just like you said, you know, you to go one practice, you're going to be humbled. For you to go to a second practice means a lot if you continue to go. And then when someone shows up to a jiu-jitsu class, you pretty much assume that they've already done that.
Okay.
So there's ascribed credibility already.
Okay.
And then also, just like you mentioned, is that you're trusting the person that they're going to let go when you tap out, right? So there's that, and then there's there's like the physical touch aspect of it that is just naturally bonds human beings, right? And everyone is a teacher and everyone is a student, essentially.
So I feel like when you reach a certain level in other fields, like either music or acting or other forms of MMA, I'm sure it's like in MMA and boxing, you see like a lot of inflated egos. So I feel like in most fields, whatever, if it's creative or athletics or whatever, once you get to a certain level, you're going to run into more people who are kind of douche peps. Do you see that much? Because you wrestle against some of the top people in the world.
Yeah.
Do you see any of that inflated ego problem?
Not as much as you would think, but people do have egos. I think people mask it, and eventually it's going to reveal itself. But I do believe that jiu-jitsu grappling dissolves egos for the most part, right? There are people who, because that they're on top, some people have been known to, you know, they let their ego show. But I just want to be clear, everyone has an ego, to include myself.
Oh, for sure. No,
I do have an ego.
Having an ego is a natural thing. That's just sort of knowing yourself, knowing what you're good at, what you're bad at.
Yeah.
But it's when it's inflated, when
it's inflated and you allow your ego to disrespect or impact others in a negative way, that's when it becomes a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
When you injure someone else, that's when it becomes a problem. You don't need to injure someone else to show how good you are. Right? You know, that doesn't mean that you can't show off, like, you know, that doesn't mean you can't be proud of your accomplishments. And everyone has the right to do that.
Yeah.
And you should, and that is also a big part of the growth of jiu-jitsu. I mean, think about this. You know, jiu-jitsu is one of the best examples of human psychology as it applies to reinforcement and awards and rewards and things like that. They have the belt system, and you keep coming, you get a stripe, and then eventually you get another belt, and then you go to a tournament, and then you get medals and things like that. It's much easier. It's harder to earn a medal in wrestling than it is jiu-jitsu. Not saying that wrestling is more, and wrestling has just been around for a long time, and there's not as many divisions. But jiu-jitsu, there are more divisions and there are more belts, so that means more opportunities to get promoted and things like that, which is important for the growth of jiu-jitsu, because there's a lot of different cultures and subcultures in jiu-jitsu that you'll find around the world, where in wrestling, it's not really like that.
Do you ever see, like, since, you know, it's difficult to get an award or a medal in jiu-jitsu, you said, did I get that correct?
No, I think it's more difficult in wrestling to
jiu-jitsu, they're just handing out medals like hotcakes.
Kind of.
Does anyone just show up to a match and like play like a psychological game and just wear all their medals around their neck? Like, let's go.
I mean,
Let's do this. It's kind of get in their head. Like, look at my
not
medal.
really. I mean, it's like it is easier. It is easier.
He's done this, hasn't he?
But I did this.
He shows up to the arena. Check out my bling. He goes on first dates like this.
Look.
He goes on a Bumble date. He's wearing his medals.
Yeah, that's true.
I actually
Dude,
went
I
on,
gotta do what I can.
I went on a Tinder date wearing a
not-
tuxedo one time to a dive bar. Our date was,
Please do
we
it.
met up at a dive bar in Portland, Oregon. And I had this tuxedo that I bought for a big Mardi Gras thing years before. And I just never had an opportunity to wear my tuxedo. So I show up. I don't tell her my tuxedo. And I just I looked like the biggest asshole at the dive bar. Everyone was like, what the fuck are you doing? And
I think that's fucking
I'm
great.
hilarious.
You should have recorded it.
Shit.
You should have put some wireless mics and set up your phone in the corner. And then I would have fucking, hey, Adam, this is, so I just want to make sure that both cameras are recording because
I wish I had. This is sort of the beginning of iPhone camera technology. It's a little.
Is that recording?
Before
We don't even have to edit this because it's funny. And how many people are really going to watch it?
I'm trying to get jokes in there, but there was a good 10 minutes where we had no jokes.
That's okay. It's still good content.
It's still good. I'm trying to ask good questions at least.
But I think you're being natural and that's the only thing that matters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ask me anything.
If I was really natural, this is what we're just going to Bert Craig. Oh my God. This is what we're trying to work off with Jiu-Jitsu, right? This is what we're trying to get rid of.
Yeah. I would say that when this part of the episode is going to be the most watched, on YouTube, without question. This is what's going to, this is really what's going to happen.
To see this soft, pasty body.
We'll see.
Hey, if any women are out there into this, that's freaking great. I could use the positive reinforcement.
Yeah. Well, we'll reach out to,
Is this going like this?
yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
Should this be turned around?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's the part, right?
Yeah, but it does not
Scratch his
matter.
face.
It's a really good mic.
Okay, cool.
You can actually have mine inside my shirt.
I noticed that. Yeah,
Yeah. When we actually use it was in stream.
Oh, right, because there's a magnet.
It's a cheat. Well, there is a magnet, but lost the magnet on that one, so that's why we had to use the clip.
No, there's a magnet.
Okay. Well, I mean, what I'm saying is, see that this is oil ring magnet.
Oh,
I
and
lost it.
I see. And you got the mic on the inside as a windscreen. I see.
Yeah,
Because of this fan on full power.
essentially. Yeah. This is how advanced our operation has become.
Yes.
It is extremely complicated, right? And advanced.
Yeah.
This is some of the most advanced things.
Yeah, but you don't have a dead cat on this.
What do you mean a dead cat?
Dead mouse, dead cat. It's the windscreen, the fuzzy things that you put on.
We have
The big ones are called dead cats. The little ones are called dead
we
mice.
do have the windscreens. For this, we just didn't use it, but you can just as easily use a shirt.
Right.
And I try to simplify the process as much as possible because I don't really have a lot of I'm of lower intellect than most. So I got to keep removing pieces.
Keep the shelf space small.
At a minimum.
I can only think about two things at once, and one of them is my dick. So it's like I'm not operating on a high level either.
Yeah. Enjoying the club. Okay, but let's get back to Team Shark today. Your first time you ever grappled. What are some of the other things you saw today?
I saw Roman statues of men, the most ripped dudes with 0% body fat, and I felt so out of place. It's like I used to think I was a catch. I used to think I was a decent looking guy until I went to that gym, and it just shattered my whole self-esteem. Never going back again. Come
on, dude.
I'm kidding. No, it was inspiring. It was inspiring for sure, but it's just watching you guys wrestle, it felt so beyond my capabilities that I don't even know if I could ever get there.
Yes, you could get there.
Yeah.
100%. You come train with us. You come train with myself and some of the other guys there.
Yeah.
All of us have a different approach.
I guess I just think too low of myself.
You do.
It seems so difficult.
This is a mind game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trust me.
Right.
It's you against yourself.
Do you think it's more mind or more physical?
Mind.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
You can get in shape in a week, dude.
What?
Yeah.
How many steroids? That sounds expensive.
Believe it or contrary to popular belief, I do not use steroids. I do.
Last time I saw you, you were like half as big.
Yeah, but like that was before that. I was big. I do not use steroids. I swear.
Speaking of which, so we met in 2018
Correct, in Hanoi Beach.
in Hanoi, and we used to hang out outside the Rastaman bar every once in a while. And you told me a story. I don't know if your viewers and listeners have ever heard this story before.
Okay,
I don't know if Adam's ever heard this story before, but Zach told me about this this guy that he saw outside of the bar who was like bragging about being an MMA champion. And, and Zach was like, what, he challenged you to a fight or something?
This is what happened. So this is like 6 a.m. right outside of Rostam.
Right. You get up.
I was up all night, like drinking and stuff. And I'm just sitting there talking to this guy about drones, some nerdy shit. Right. And then the guy looks at me and he says, "Oh, saw my ear." It's like, "Oh, did you used to wrestle or something?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, I'm an MMA fighter and I challenge you to a match right now." And I was like, "Really, dude? Like, are you serious?"
I've been drinking for 8 hours.
I'm serious about this. And I kept saying, I was like, you don't have to do this, man. And he said, "I don't want to do this right now."
It's the best way to encourage him to keep on.
I tried to talk him out of it. I tried. So we're right there. So you got Rosamond, and then you got this like little patio, like right by the lake.
Right.
And then you got the street in between it. Right. It's just, the sun is just starting to come up. So you're starting to be able to see things. And so I'm like, "All right, dude." And so finally he talked me into it. I'm like, "Fine, I'll do it." I didn't really want to do this.
Yeah.
I did not want to do it.
Right.
I just wanted to hang out.
The last thing I'd want to do at 6 a.m. after a night of drinking.
So then I'm like, I'll do it. But we should probably go over there to the grass. Looking out for him.
Right.
I really am looking out for him. And then Maeve's like, "Okay." So we started walking over there and he changed his mind. He said, "We're doing it right here." I said, "Dude, you don't want to do it right here." He said, "Are you backing down? Are you scared of me?" And then that was it. I was like, "Okay, fine." And then basically what I did was he came to me, I shot in, took him down, let him up, took him down. And then I put him in an arm bar and then eventually submitted him. Right. And then he was like, and then as I was wearing flip-flops, skinny jeans and a black shirt. Right. My flip-flop during the whole confrontation, my flip-flop pulled out. Right. And so I was like, well, if I want to continue partying, so this flip-flop was an important part of this operation. So I was like, "Listen to me, since you're the reason why this flip-flop was broken, I need you to fix the flip-flop." He fixed the flip-flop, takes the flip-flop, throws it in the nasty lake. He said, "You don't need this." And I said, "Listen to me right now. You're either going to go in that lake and get the flip-flop and bring it back to me, or you're going in the lake." He said, What you mean, man? What you mean?" And I said, "Yeah, go and get the flip-flop, fix it, and bring it back to me." And he did it. And actually became really good friends after that.
You humbled him.
Yeah. And then he told all his friends about it. And then all his friends came to me, "Man, his name is Adam too."
Okay.
He's actually still in Vietnam. He actually came down to Hanoi and it was in my wrestling class.
Oh man.
And they made a really good post. I really like the guy. He's from Wales, actually.
Okay.
His name's Adam Lewis. Adam, if you're watching, shout out to you for being a man. And being and taking it with humility and learning from it. That's the only thing that matters. We actually used to go out and party a bunch after that.
Nice.
And then he would tell everyone the story.
Okay.
Good guy.
That's great. Yeah.
What a good guy.
Yeah.
Really cool guy.
I think when I first heard the story, I don't know if you guys had started hanging out much after that because when I first heard the story, I was like, "Oh, what a douchebag." But I'm glad he's a cool guy.
I think that when I told you the story, it was between the incident and then I ran into him in a bar later on.
Okay.
And then he was like, "Yeah." And then maybe I ran into one of his friends. And one of his friends really said really good things about me.
Okay, cool.
And then
that's when you guys started connecting.
I was like, "Wow, well, he said good things." So
nice.
I was like, I immediately respected him.
Yeah.
And
I'm pretty much being friends with anyone who says nice things about me.
Because his friend actually told me that he was just going around Hanoi picking on people.
Oh.
And then he'd already done to like 10 or 11 people.
And he stopped after you?
Yeah.
Nice. Scurry.
Oh, but here's the thing. The thing is, if, let's say you're trained in any martial art, you're good and you're decent, right? If you're a good wrestler, if you're a good jiu-jitsu, whatever, you're not going to go around picking on people at bars. So let's say someone picks on you at a bar and challenges you to a wrestling match.
Yeah.
you know that it's going to be a very easy match.
Okay.
It's going to be a very easy match. It's going to be a bad day for him and a great day for the audience. And it's a great opportunity.
I feel like if a guy is going around, sorry,
no, that's okay.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah,
I don't know who's talking right now.
I swear to God, like, I don't know who interrupts me more, you or Adam. I swear.
And I thought you had nothing interesting.
Look, I brought you on the show. I brought you on the show so I wouldn't get in.
I wanted to cut you off before you became boring.
Okay, go ahead, Ross.
All right. I'm going to say, if the guy is going around a bar trying to pick fights with people, the whole bar is automatically against him. So if there's an audience, everyone's already got your back.
It's huge influence. It's always got to be their idea.
Right. Oh yeah.
It's got to be their idea, and then
you get to be the guy like you were with Adam.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, no, which only is going to encourage a guy with an ego like that.
I literally tried.
It's only going to encourage him.
I really didn't want to do it.
Yeah, but you know that's not going to dissuade him. It's just going to make him more enthusiastic.
And then when he said what did it for me was he was like, "Oh, you're scared, aren't you?"
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he really wanted to. Really wanted to.
We're gonna see what happens.
How is Adam Lewis? You said.
Yeah.
How is he doing now? Is he still doing MMA?
I don't know if he continued his. That may have been the end of his.
He needs to add a jiu-jitsu patch to his gi.
I think that he would. I do think that he has a lot of potential. I can tell when someone has potential. I really can. And
he's definitely got confidence.
Yeah. I mean, I've had a lot of people, especially when I lived in LA, come and challenge me at bars. And what are they looking for? You know, they're not looking for a fight. They're looking for you to back down. That's what they want.
Right.
They don't want to fight. They want, and then when you show them that you're not scared and you don't back down, then they're like, oh, okay. Then they don't want to fight.
Can't you just say I don't want to fight and not look like a pussy? Also, I mean,
basically,
or a wuss if that's not
the best way that I've disarmed people. Yeah, is remain calm, which is easy to do.
Just have a beer with me. I don't want to fight.
Just be like, okay, let's go. Like I remember one time this guy bigger than me and younger and probably more physically capable kept trying to challenge me to a wrestling match. Like, why would you do that? But that sounds arrogant. And then I was like, okay. And then he had some two people with him, like two girls were with him. I said, okay, this is what's gonna happen. Okay, you really want to do this? I'm gonna take everything out of my pocket, and then everything you just give it to these two girls. Yeah, so nothing is, and then we're gonna walk into the middle of the street, and we're gonna go until one of us gives up. Mm-hmm. And he's like, okay. Then we got to the middle of the street, and he wouldn't go anymore.
Okay,
just remain calm.
Yeah,
the remaining calm is
But you also gotta have a stature, or at least a confidence that's a little intimidating. Like I've never encouraged a fight. I've never been like, yeah, let's do it. I've always been the guy that I'll get my ass kicked. I don't know how to fight, but it would be, so to come back to jiu-jitsu, like I don't want to hurt anybody. I also don't want to get hurt. And jiu-jitsu seems like the best way to end the fight without anyone getting injured.
Yeah, exactly. Right?
So if I had that level of confidence, then I think I'd be able to approach someone at the ball, or if someone approached me and said, let's do this, I'd be like, okay. And then just make sure neither of us get hurt.
You would have that level of confidence.
Yeah.
And we could get to that as this community here. You would get that level of confidence.
Yeah. That'd be nice to have. I'd like that.
It's great. And I can't imagine not having it because I've had it since high school.
Right. Yeah. I've always, because here's the thing. I use my mouth to get out of shit.
I mean, dude, like, here's the thing. Once you get your ass beat hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times and you know what it's like,
then you're not afraid.
Like, what am I afraid of? Right. This guy who hasn't done it?
Yeah.
This guy who is not in shape, really? Like, he's either, it's just, I mean, you roll with Felipe, roll with all those guys. And once you get to that, and like the Adam today, you roll with that guy. Yeah. And then you go to a rank, just any guy that you can think of, like at Rostamon challenges you. Yeah. And you've had 100 hours of rolling with guys like that.
Most people don't wrestle though. Most people are going to throw punches. And I've been punched in the face a couple times and I don't, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, but I don't want it to happen again. I mean, I feel like bar fights are not wrestling.
It's true.
Usually.
So I think if you want to be a really good fighter, you should have two things. Mm-hmm. And one is striking and one other is grappling. Yeah. And grappling is like wrestling, jiu-jitsu, something like that.
Muhammad Ali school of dodging.
But you should be able to protect yourself. Yeah. Like like, I'm not a good striker. I've done Muay Thai and stuff like that. And I do believe that Muay Thai is very dangerous. Like, if you want to be dangerous, go to Muay Thai.
Oh, you
have a good
kicks
coach
to the head. Kids.
But like, if you know good jiu-jitsu, if you're a wrestler, all you gotta do is just block one punch.
And then getting close.
Getting close, you can't punch. When your arms are balled out, you can't punch. Right?
Yeah.
Just don't get knocked out the first punch.
Yeah.
That's all you gotta do.
And rush.
Yeah. And if they grab you, that's what you want. I want someone to put their hands on it because that's what grappling jiu-jitsu is about. But however, my weakness or blind spot or whatever would be, I would not do well against someone who is very good at
12 years older. What's the youngest person you would fight? Like how young do they have to be till you feel like you're fighting a child? Like if a 16-year-old came up at a bar, it was like, "Hey, old man."
I mean, you mean like, I mean, like guys between like, if a 16-year-old high school wrestler wanted to challenge me, he has the advantage.
Okay.
Physically.
Okay.
Right?
Oh yeah, you mentioned agility.
But I will wrestle a high level 16-year-old or 18-year-old or 20-year-old. Doesn't matter to me. It really does not matter. I don't really feel like thankfully, and it's because of genetics and things like that. I'm very lucky and fortunate that I have the physical ability that I have. And I recognize this is a gift, one of the few gifts that I have. Right. So, I mean, like a 16-year-old most likely isn't gonna.
And I'm coming at it from the wrong frame of reference too, because it's not a fight. It's grappling. You're not hurting someone else. Like ideally a wrestling match shouldn't end with either people being like a significant amount of pain. Right.
You should not be pain.
Yeah.
In every grappling and wrestling match should end with respect. You should, no matter what happens, you should both respect one another. Right. And I really do believe that. And I believe that it is unacceptable to show mass workmanship. To me is like one of the worst qualities you can have.
Yeah.
And because it's about respect. I really do believe that. And that's why we have such a great community. We go back to your first question. There are people who do have egos, right? All of us have egos. Some people, they show it in the wrong way, I believe. But I think that's for anything.
But that's
it's just because we're humans.
More off the mat. When you're on the mat, it's kind of, it goes away, right?
Yeah, but you see examples sometimes when you're on the mat. But I think overall, I think that their level of respect is very high in jiu-jitsu. I do believe that. It's very high. And
everyone started somewhere. So there's no, if you're brand new like me, I didn't get the feeling that who's the new, no one, right?
Everyone want people.
We've all been there. Everyone's been there before.
Dude, that's what we want is more people.
Right.
And we're excited to see someone new.
Yeah.
Just some people in our community are a little bit shy. I mean, the community is, a lot of people who are generally shy. It's not like a social media company where everyone's an extrovert.
Yeah.
To see everybody.
It's also not a team sport.
It's true.
Right.
But generally,
introverts tend to go towards team sports.
That's true.
Yeah.
But in general, the community, the jiu-jitsu community as a whole globally, for the most part, wants more people to join the sport, and most people want to grow the sport. Right. And that's what a lot of most gyms, most coaches, most athletes here in Vietnam want to grow the sport for the greater good of everyone.
Yeah. Why do you think there's such a mission to grow jiu-jitsu? Why do you think over any other martial art, do you think? I'm making assumptions here, but is it growing faster than other martial arts, or is there just more?
I mean, certainly growing faster than karate. Okay. But I think that there's a lot of factors involved. One factor is that everyone can do jiu-jitsu. You can do it for the rest of your life. Wrestling, it's a scholastic sport and pretty much ends at college unless you are competing at the World Championships or the Olympics, right? And it's just not feasible to continue wrestling. But you can do this with jiu-jitsu. You can compete in your 70s, right? Walt Power competed at the World Championships at 72 years old.
Wow.
Right? and he started jiu-jitsu when he was 54 years old.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And but it's similar to tennis and pickleball, right?
Yeah, sure.
Once you're like 26, 27, 28, are you really going to be competing in tennis?
Well, not competing, but I mean, you can do jiu-jitsu without competing.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is like tennis is a very competitive. I mean, you can go and play tennis, things like that, but it's very hard to. Like there's a steep learning curve with tennis, but now look at pickleball. Anyone can play pickleball.
After playing with you the other day, I told my dad he should go outside a pickleball court.
Yeah.
He's 78. Yeah.
It's so much fun, man. And it's like, I think there is a relationship between tennis and pickleball and wrestling and jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
And it's basically, it appeals to more people, right? More people can do it. More people can have fun. It's easier to start a business. It's easier to market. It's easier to get people involved versus like tennis is very, very difficult, very accurate, you know?
Right. You got to put a lot more power behind it. It just takes more.
Yeah.
Is there anything playing with my hand? Like, have you noticed a difference between MMA fighters or any UFC type event with fighters that have more of a jiu-jitsu background and fighters that don't? Is this maybe one of the reasons why it's growing or why?
Yes, that's a really good point. I think that jiu-jitsu is growing in part because of UFC and these huge MMA.
And it's showing like
it's showing because
the fighters that have that background have an advantage or they're
yeah, they do. It's to the point where you can't just be a really, really good Muay Thai fighter and win UFC.
No.
Because someone's going to heel hook you or submit you or something like that. Right.
Uh-huh.
And we're seeing it here in Vietnam. Right. And I believe that like the Vietnamese are starting to know and understand that, look, if I want to win a belt, if I want to win an MMA championship, I'm going to need some grappling. I'm going to need some wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you need all of it. So and because of that, jiu-jitsu, specifically no-gi grappling, no-gi jiu-jitsu, submission wrestling, whatever term you want to use, is becoming more and more popular, and there's more money in it because that directly translates to UFC. Right. There's all the money.
Right.
UFC won championship, and now we've got these other up-and-coming promotions here in Vietnam, the only international being Angels Fighting Championship that's really out of Korea. And then you've got some other promotions, Lion Championship. And then also one of the ones that is the most, I think, the impressive is Gods of Martial Arts.
Right.
Which is a very cinematic and enchanting MMA promotion.
The way you talk about it, it sounds like a spectacle for sure.
I mean, it's magical. It really is. It's almost like parts of Gods of Martial Arts. Now, I went for the first time, recently. Just a few weeks ago, and it was it's almost like out of a Disney movie. Like
which Disney movie? Like Little Mermaid or
it's like
Pocahontas?
It's like certain moments remind you of a dentist. Like between rounds, they have this magical music. Right? But it's a magical place.
Okay.
It's fighting. But it's really a show.
Uh-huh.
It's a show.
Uh-huh.
And there's so much thought put behind Gods of Martial Arts because look, who's the guy running it? A Hollywood actor who's been in 10, 12,
he knows
15,
how to build the drama.
How many movies has this guy been in? How many sets has he been in? How many decades has he had, understanding the values?
So he's curating like the moment you enter the door to walk up and take your seat by the ring or whatever it is. He's thought about how the person's going to experience each moment and just elevates it.
It sounds like I had big expectations anyway. Just because the short time that I was able to meet Johnny and he gave me the opportunity to coach at Lean Farm, which is where Gods of Martial Arts is, that the same venue, for a month. So I kind of saw like Lean Farm is like this martial arts community, and it's like handmade, like community. You have the rooms there. They have it's almost like a jungle feel in the middle of the city. It's incredible. It really is. I mean, Gods of Martial Arts is like a few orders of magnitude, even more of a spectacle, and I was very impressed. And that was only the second one they've done.
Okay.
That was only the second one
They
they've
came
done.
out swinging.
So that was the semifinal, and then the final is going to be on December 7th. No way I'm missing that.
Okay.
There's no way I'm missing that. I'm bringing all of my friends. I want everyone to go because this is something really, really special that's happening. And this is unlike anything that we've seen in martial arts. Even look at the big promotions, UFC One Championship. Yeah, they're special and they do this other thing. But I'm telling you right now, Gods of Martial Arts, it's more thoughtful, more cinematic than anything we've seen in the world. I would even say, and there's nothing like Gods of Martial Arts.
Okay.
There's really not. They have a ring and they have ropes, right? It's not a cage. They have ropes.
Okay.
They've got
like a boxing ring.
It's like a boxing ring, but it's like 5 or 6 sides. It's not 4, right? And like everything has a theme to it, down to like the ring girls. They probably have a different name for it. I'm probably messing that up, but they have the decorations and the ring and everything is part of this grand theme that every single thing is thought about.
Okay.
And the music like between the rounds, it's like a magical, like an Aladdin kind of sound, and it has right when the bell ends on the first round, this music starts and the ring girls go around. They're wearing the dress and like it's just it's a spectacle. There's nothing like Gods of Martial Arts, and I'll tell you, all the MMA fighters in Southeast Asia right now have an opportunity. They have an opportunity if you're from Cambodia, Malaysia, Myanmar, Thailand, in Cambodia. Like we got 5 countries in Southeast Asia. The 4 fighters from each country have a unique opportunity to be a part of Gods of Martial Arts international events next year in 2025.
Okay.
And they're sponsored. And they'll be able to come. The travel accommodations is paid for, and you get show money. And
nice.
And the winner gets a little.
Is next year the first time it's moving outside of Vietnam?
It's actually going to be here in Vietnam, but they're going to have a.
I've been fighting an international community.
Yes.
Okay. So
yes.
On December 7th, the finals, that's all Vietnamese fighters and people based in Vietnam?
Yes.
Gyms in Vietnam?
And it's possible that some of the fighters are come from another country. That maybe not. But it's mainly here in Vietnam.
Okay.
Next year is the first time we're going to have a Gods of Martial Arts Cambodian Championship, Gods of Martial Arts Thailand Championship, Malaysia Championship, Cambodia, and
then there's going to be an overall like Southeast Asia championship.
So then after they're going to have the respective countries championship, and it's going to be the international championship where each country, all the countries,
the best of Cambodia versus the best of Laos or whatever,
and also Vietnam is all going to be part of this.
Yeah.
And then the winner's going to get big money.
Cool,
big money. I'm telling you, this is big enough money to where like. Where is there a better opportunity in Southeast Asia to be an MMA fighter? I mean, you know that when you come to Gods of Martial Arts, you're going to get your accommodation, your flight's going to get plus one.
That's amazing,
right? And then they come here, and now you're going to get show money also, and you're part of this whole cinematic experience that it's almost like you're in a movie, and it's only going to get better and better.
So it's Aladdin meets mixed martial arts.
Yes. It really is like
I cannot picture.
You're on a movie, and this is.
But it's also animated.
Yeah, you actually become an animated character when you walk in. I don't know how they do it, but it really is like that. Like they've only had 2 events. It's already like that. What it's going to be like? What is it going to be like when they Gods of Martial Arts 7, 8, 9?
And you think Johnny Tree Nguyen's going to keep on?
Of course,
bringing it up each time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Talk to him for 5 minutes. Talk to him for 30 seconds. Tell me if you think anything different. I'm telling you.
Cool.
And thankfully, I got to say this: what an honor it is to work with Johnny and be a part of Gods of Martial Arts.
Mm-hmm.
What an honor it is! The unique opportunity, and what an honor it is for all of us to be able to experience this in these early stages. In this new way, this new era of mixed martial arts here in Southeast Asia.
Very cool.
So And I really hope that you're able to come with this.
Oh, I'll be there
Awesome.
December 7th. Yeah.
Yeah, December 7th. It's going to be cool. We got a nice crew coming.
Okay.
We got a nice crew. Well, we was doing some rucking this morning with the Saigon rucking group. And,
I don't know what rucking is.
It's just you're walking with a heavy backpack.
Oh, you told me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Rucking, like rucksacking? Ruck.
it's like in the military term. Well, let's go for a ruck march. And it's actually some of my worst members in the military. But in an effort to
You do it for fun.
Yeah, now I do it for fun and to reach new community.
At what point did you cross into psychotic?
I think
Because
I've always been there.
You used to,
I've
you were always kind of on the fence, but now you're fully like,
Yeah,
you've gone into
exactly.
self-abuse, punishment.
That's a really good question. I haven't thought about that. But I think once you're in, you kind of forget about how you got there. I guess I don't really know.
I feel like there's something to be said for that. I feel like if you really want to succeed, you have to go through a series of struggles and you have to learn how to love the pain, right?
Yeah.
You have to love the abuse in order to make it, to push through. The persistence requires that.
Without question.
Yeah.
And that's this whole martial arts community. All of us are a little bit like that. All of us are. And that's how we bond. And that's the unspoken, bonding mechanism that we have.
Right. You're all a little bit psycho.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit. And we're very comfortable getting with that.
Yeah.
To the point where it may rub a new person the wrong way. Or
they just have to embrace their inner psycho. Everyone's got a little bit of it, right? You just have to let it flourish in a healthy way.
Exactly. We're all a little bit crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Psycho seems a little extreme, but yeah, a little bit nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, sorry. I just get a little excited about gods of martial arts.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like I said, I had big expectations.
So what do you expect for, you said you're bringing a group of friends. I'll be there. What are we going to have a theme? Are we going to like wear matching clothing and
what we're gonna
gold fringe, black shirts?
I think all of us can we are all going to contribute to this event.
Can we have matching Adidas tracksuits? We can look like some chav guys from England.
That's a good point.
Or some Russian, either Russian mobsters or chavs. If anyone's British out there, they know what a chav is. Chavs are Russian mafia. It's the Adidas tracksuit.
Maybe we'll see. Okay. But our group is going to contribute to the event. We're going to have fun.
Okay.
We're going to do some interviews. We're going to meet some influential people. We're going to be involved. We're going to be part of the event.
Awesome.
We're a part of it. And we'll meet Johnny.
Okay.
It's super cool, man.
So I'll make posters.
Yeah.
Yeah. For different fighters. I'll make up
Yeah,
little taglines, nicknames for the fighters.
The guy with the lean fall, which is purple uniform.
Oh yeah.
Today,
Yeah.
he will be fighting.
Okay.
And
does he have a nickname yet? Because maybe I'll be like the ambassador of nicknames.
His name is Swai, and he was growing up. His name is Swai, which means mango and Vietnamese, so you can call him Swai. I don't know if he likes that or not. I don't think he likes it.
Okay.
But he is one to watch.
Okay.
And he is undefeated in MMA. The guys in martial arts, incredible. I'm just super excited about all the growth. I mean, like, for people who aren't in the martial arts community, they just don't see it. It is exploding here. And this is the epicenter, and Vietnam is becoming the epicenter of grappling in Southeast Asia.
Mm-hmm.
And now we've got these MMA promotions, and there's nothing like God's martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
So it all relates.
Yeah.
It really does all relate to. And I'm just excited to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And
it's awesome.
some of the people who are driving this change and driving this are asking me to be part of it.
And so how do you think this is going to change the world?
The world. I mean, I think that I think the world is going to be. I think it's definitely going to affect climate change directly. I think
I see it.
If you go, if you go to Montana 5-10 years from now, the glaciers are going to be back.
Yeah,
the glaciers are going to be back. The water's going to be a little more blue and clear. And I think that we're not really going to have a lot of a lot of the issues that we have.
I think employment, hunger, food shortage, food scarcity, it's going to be all taken care of with the power of Jiu-Jitsu.
And it starts here.
It does. Really incredible.
with exactly what we are doing. With this, and this podcast directly relates as well.
We can take a break for a half an hour and try to connect those dots. Some sort of logical conclusion.
I think that AI is going to do that for us.
Okay, great.
It's actually already doing it.
All right.
Yes. But
so with I want to close with a question for you.
Yes, sir.
For people that are interested in jiu-jitsu, maybe haven't gotten involved yet.
Yeah.
What would you say to someone who's like showing maybe a little bit of an interest and is maybe apprehensive?
Yeah. I would say come try a class and don't be intimidated because you're not in shape, or if you think that, you can't fight or don't have any skills, you come and use, basically, jiu-jitsu is a martial art or self-defense to where you use your body in smart ways to defend yourself, using the strength you already have, and you can connect and grow through martial arts in a supportive and welcoming community.
That's awesome.
So it's you're using the strength you already have. You're doing it with also new people. Strength doesn't really matter, and you are gonna, at the very least, you're gonna form strong bonds with quality people, doctors, lawyers, English teachers, content creators, dentists, are all in jiu-jitsu. Everyone is
it's
there.
The great equalizer.
It is. And it's very, I can't imagine my life without jiu-jitsu, honestly.
That's beautiful.
I really can't.
Beautiful.
And there's a lot of different cultures and subcultures and lots of different preferences and things like that. That you can choose from. Right. Some people like to compete, some people don't. I do like to compete.
You can get involved at any level in any iteration of that you want.
Exactly. And it's like for our class, if you come to one of my classes, it doesn't matter if you can be your first day or you're already a black belt, you're going to benefit from my class. Because basically simple, highly effective techniques that can be used in any situation where someone puts their hands on you.
Nice.
Right? Someone puts your hands on you, you're going to be prepared and you're going to feel confident.
Yeah. You're going to walk out after that first class more confident.
Yes. You're never going to be the same person again.
Awesome.
If you have one class with me.
Wow.
And that's my promise.
That's very cool.
Yeah. So.
Awesome.
Yeah. Ross, thank you so much.
Woo!
Ross, thank you. So I've been wanting to see you for a long time, man.
Yeah.
And it's really cool that we are doing this on to the day, 18 months here in Saigon, folks.
Happy 1.5 year anniversary of starting jiu-jitsu in Saigon.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I spent 1.5 years in Hanoi. You and I were there together. And now
6 years later.
Yep. Yeah. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Like, still, Vietnam in a lot of ways are still very new to me. And I get that. Vietnam is the only place that I had traveled, Ross, where every morning I wake up, I'm excited because I'm in that place.
Yeah, this is
like I'm gonna go get a cafe suada. I'm gonna go get some boo chas, right? Like, there's no other place on earth that I have been.
Yeah,
that I can say the same.
I completely identify with that.
Yeah.
So many other places I've traveled to, after a little while, I just like want to stay in bed as long as possible. But in Vietnam, I'm hopping out as soon as I'm awake.
Yeah. Awesome. Ross.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, dude, of course.
On the podcast.
Yeah, I mean,
good old American friend. All right.
Where's my cowboy hat?
Yeah. Where's your cowboy hat? Hey, can I put it on? Can I try it on for the fans?
Oh yeah, do it.
I just want to try it on. What about their sunglasses?
It's not a cowboy hat. It's like if a fedora and a cowboy hat had a baby. You know?
Fedora.
Yeah. It's like cowboy hat light.
I have a very small vocabulary, Ross, so use simple words. What
has like
a fedora?
Fedora is like the Jason Mraz hat.
Who's just in this?
If that makes sense to you.
Yeah, I don't know a lot of things.
It's a classic like Italian style hat, but this is it's not quite a cowboy hat. But I'd never worn hats until I grew my hair out. Now I just cool.
You definitely look a lot different
with the long hair.
Yeah, definitely different. Like you just like you're out of a movie, a cool movie too.
Okay,
you're like in the main character.